Hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Now, let's kind of address kind of an elephant in the room situation with in regards to, what is it? Of course, Battlegrounds. It's been a lot more chatter about it amongst the player base in multiple matchups now. I've backed way off personally myself in doing these simply because we're lacking maintenance on the game because, you know, the holiday, and so it's an extra week and it's definitely sinking in. That's across the board with the game though. There's a lot of things that are getting to the brink of borderline game breaking issues that need to be definitely addressed. I feel like still there's nobody in the office at NetEase for the holiday still. I mean, which is not surprising over there, but it just is, it's just a big mess. Now, let me see. There's just some other examples. Let me pull this up off of Reddit here. This is just comical. This is, you know, par for the course as far as most of us are concerned anymore. We're used to this kind of nonsense. Let's see, clearly don't mind, they say, clearly fail the math here. Well, if you're talking about Blizzard math, of course they're going to fail, because they fail hard when it comes to that. NetEase is not far off either, which is pretty sad considering. But anyway, let's see, I certainly don't mind playing. Okay, so here they go. End result was a 23-43 score. Team A versus B. Now here's where I find that this is comical. They're showing resonance. Okay, that's fine and dandy, and that's kind of like the old way and pretty outdated at this point, because and now they're complaining about there was a 44-20 difference. That means nothing, and I say that because right here, this person here says, oh, this isn't the worst I've seen. Could be worse. It has been worse. I've been in those, and so have these other people here. Let's see, I've seen a team have 9K, and another team have Rizzo at 3.8K. The game ends in like 5 minutes with the score 30 versus 30v5. The idol was like a walk in a park, unstoppable straight to the heart. Yeah. Same here, blah, blah, blah. Happens once out of my 10 to 15 games, like it's a stupid bug. It's not. Unfortunately, that's the matchmaking system that we're in now, and there's, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be any getting away from it. It's just getting excessively worse, and it continues to get worse by the minute, by the day. I don't want to say by the minute, but it damn near feels like that anymore. And I'm still going to bring it up again. Pets is definitely a factor, whether you believe it or want to believe it or not. They definitely added to the already mess of matchmaking that we knew there to be in Battlegrounds, and it just was another extra added variable that just compounded things even worse. Not only, and then there's the and this kind of coincides with combines, I guess, with lag. Lag is atrocious in Battlegrounds anymore. It feels, and I stated this in one match actually, I was like, this feels like Conqueror mode now, which it is. It has reached the levels of Conqueror mode. It's gotten that terrible, that lopsided, and you'll have certain, and certain players. We're not talking, well, I mean, we're going back to the days of old in the past of lag switchers and blah, 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 and whatever, technique they're using now. It definitely is in there, whether you want to try to argue with it or not. I don't know exactly how they go about doing it, but there have been, and I did a video a while back showing how there was just constant hang-ups when you get around certain players, and I did a video in the past. I'll try to find it to link it at the end of this video. It's kind of a ways back now, but it still applies, and unfortunately it applies even more now than then even, which is really bad. And it's also really sad, because all that does is it makes it even that much more worse and even more toxic across the board for everybody in the community that, you know, participate in Battlegrounds and such in this aspect of the game. It's already pay to win as it is. We know this, but it's already like that imbalance to start from. That's baseline, and that was done by the devs. So, you know, well, devs, publishers, all the guys that want to just, you know, suck money out of you and trick you into gambling. And those things, all those people involved, that was baseline. That was baseline. And then, so then once you get past all that pay to win scamming nonsense, you get into the actual, you know, gameplay of it, of which those that have already, you know, dumped, you know, a house upon their character to get that edge that they desperately so needed in a virtual game to make up for their lack of ability, they still continue to push that even further any way possible that they can, whether it be like, I don't know, VPN. I don't know how exactly they're causing these absolute lag fests in their favor to be so lopsided. And it's not just that. I mean, that's just an example. It's also, I think, ever since the devs added the pets into the game, they added to the lag issues just by development design. So you add that factor in, et cetera, et cetera. It just compounds, and here we are to a point, like I said, where it's borderline game breaking. And yeah, so, you know, this is obviously just a rant about the Battleground issues and everything else. This here from Reddit, this is just comical, because this is like, you know, this is par for the course. It's whatever. But I do like the fact that somebody brought up like once out of every 10 to 15 game. That's the other thing. These are like predictable to a fault now at this point, to where it's like, oh, okay, I won, say, like 2 in a row or something. Okay, so I'm definitely going to probably lose the next one, that kind of thing. It's more predictable now than it was even with... You'd think it would be a little bit more unpredictable with the pets, but now it's like, no. Now they... Somehow you get factored in to where you get matches like, you know, the 30 v5 score at the end and that kind of ordeal because of that fact. Things are just in a terrible state, and that's pretty much what I wanted to address in this video. Was, again, the state of Battlegrounds. It's the state of Lagogrounds, pretty much. It is, like I said, approaching borderline unplayable. And it's something that should have been already addressed. It needs to be addressed. And whether they choose to do so or not, because this is like, you know, a lot of the PvP stuff is their moneymaker for their whales and such. So if they don't appease or do something about this, you know, obviously some of them have already taken, you know, steps to make it better for themselves and, you know, resulting in this. But like I said, it's made it just much more of a toxic environment across the community, across the player base, unnecessarily so. We're reaching, like, you know, League of Legends like toxicity levels with the rate it's going, and it needs to be adjusted. It really does. Something needs to be done about it. Something needs to be addressed. They'll never balance it. Forget that. So if you're gonna hold your breath thinking that they're actually going to balance things in this, no, that was out the window before it even started. But yeah, and I also wanted to just throw a little funny quip in here. I seen a video of someone reaching like, oh, I got the legend and and it's like, well, all right, let me show you. Yeah, I got the legend too. Back in the 20th of January, I reached Legend in Battlegrounds as a complete free-to-play. So, you know, complete free-to-play, only 1830 reso, alright? Now, recently, I finally did get all my pieces to level rank 30 blacksmithing, so there's that. But yeah, you know, if you know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just throwing this out there. I find it kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say comical. on that either. No, that's cool and all. People have their own pace about going about things, but look, I knocked mine out way early, a long time ago. I'll show the mail again. January 20th, I reached Legend in Battlegrounds, and like I said, I've backed way off, so I kind of go anymore between 3,200 and where I'm at right now. I play it very sparingly now. I could have pushed it further and stayed up in here, but I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over it. I would have put up some videos too. I haven't done Battleground videos in a long time. I've recorded a bunch, but I haven't put any up in a while because it's honestly, it's just a big joke at this point, and not a fun. That in a sense is not even funny, but it's just highly I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. That kind of thing. Okay, that's the line I'm giving it. That's the line it deserves. That's the line that the devs deserve. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. So yeah. I think that's a nice way to just wrap this up here. It's pretty much just, been a rant about this. What do you think about it? The lag situation, I'll just put it out there for everybody in the comments and such. I'm sure, excuse me, we've all experienced this by now, most definitely. But it's definitely gotten progressively worse. Also, speaking of like the other things I brought up in Reddit as well, with like the PC crashes, there was also that one too. That's just gotten progressively worse. Basically, if you're on PC, if you do any kind of zoning, any cutscenes, anything whatsoever, basically don't use your keyboard. Don't even try to type anything in any chats whatsoever. Just ignore typing anything whatsoever at all, period. And when there's a cutscene or when you're zoning, take your hands off the keyboard entirely and don't touch it until you're where you need to be, or until the cutscene's over. Then you can resume. That's all I can say as far as the safest workaround for that right now. Who knows when that's going to get fixed? There's so many other things. It's really bad. The other day, I also had the raid boss, the one where it morphs together, the dragon and the guy. I forget what the name of it is off the top of my head, but in that phase, it's always the last phase too when that happens. It bugs out. It bugged out so weird. Actually, the other day, the camera zoomed in on the boss as it did its transformation, and then it stayed there. I couldn't see my character anymore. I couldn't move into camera view. Nothing. It just stayed locked, zoomed in on the boss after it did its transformation, and there was nothing else I could do about it. I had to close the game out because I couldn't even move, and I had gotten killed because I couldn't see what the hell was going on. The view didn't change at all. It was terrible. So that's the first time I saw that one. It was very interesting. I do have a screenshot of it. I'll have to dig up. I'm not going to do that right now, but this has gone on long enough already. But yeah, this is basically, a state of Battlegrounds and the amount of copious bullshit that it has downward spiraled into, and basically a toxic toilet that needs to be flushed. Hopefully maintenance, upcoming next week might help alleviate some of this. It definitely has to do something, because it has reached levels, like I said, to where it's borderline game breaking. Not just with Battlegrounds, again, with things across the board, obviously, but it's definitely way more apparent, and unfortunately it is definitely graining on the usual suspects that are in Battlegrounds all the time. I'm hearing it more and more and more, which is why I backed off a while ago, like I said, but I started to kind of dip my toe back in a little bit and just kind of see if it's changed or how it's progressively gotten worse, and that's why I'm stating what I am now, because it definitely has gotten worse. and it will continue to do so until obviously the devs literally have to step in and do something about it instead of nothing at all. But only time will tell on that one, sadly, as per usual. So thank you guys again for watching. And if you hung in all the way to the end of the video, I do appreciate you, as always. Stay safe out there in the world on fire, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.